Something shifted at airports this year, and it did not happen with a press release, a news story, or an email to your inbox. It happened quietly. Policy pages updated overnight. Gate systems got new software. Screening protocols changed between one trip and the next. 7 rules changed in 2026 that are actively affecting how people fly right now. Let's go through all 7. Most people know Real ID is a thing. What most people do not know is that showing up without one now triggers a $45 fee collected directly at the security checkpoint. Not at a service counter. Not during booking. Right there in the line, shoes off, bags on the belt, with everyone behind you watching. TSA launched its Confirm ID Alternative Verification program in 2026, and that $45 is what it costs to use it. Airlines do not mention it at booking. Your confirmation email does not mention it. The agent is not required to warn you before it happens. Here is the 2-second check that tells you everything you need to know. Pick up your driver's license right now and look at the upper right corner. Gold star? You are compliant. You are done. No star? Make a DMV appointment before your next flight. It is a one-time fix, and $45 every single trip is not something you want on your travel budget permanently. More than 65 major airports now have biometric facial recognition cameras active at security checkpoints. Most passengers walk up, look into the camera, and assume it is mandatory. It is not. TSA's own policy says it is completely optional, but they are not required to tell you that proactively. The framing, "Please look at the camera," sounds like an instruction. It is actually an invitation you have every right to decline. If you walk through without knowing, your facial geometry is captured and stored in a federal biometric database. You cannot change your face the way you can change a password. The opt-out is simple. Before you step up to the camera, tell the agent clearly, "I am opting out of facial recognition." They will verify your ID by hand instead. It takes about 30 extra seconds. That is the entire cost of keeping your biometric data out of a permanent federal file. If you are one of the millions of travelers who chose Southwest specifically because bags fly free, this one is going to sting. That policy ended on January 27th, 2026. Southwest now charges for checked baggage up to $75 per bag each way, depending on your route. For 50 years, that free bag policy was the foundation of Southwest's brand. It built loyalty that competitors could not buy, and it ended with almost no public announcement. The travelers who got hurt most were the ones with bookings already made, purchased months in advance under the old policy. With bag fees, they never factored into the cost. 2 things worth knowing right now. The Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card still includes free checked bags as a card holder benefit. If you fly Southwest even twice a year, that card immediately pays for itself. And before you book any Southwest flight going forward, price it with the bag fee included and compare it against at least one other carrier. Southwest is no longer automatically the cheaper option. The math changed the moment the policy did. This one is catching experienced United flyers completely off guard. United tightened its check-in enforcement in early 2026. Confirmed seats are now being released to standby passengers earlier than before, and the decision is made by an automated weight and balance algorithm, not a gate agent. There is no one to negotiate with. There is no call you can make once the seat is gone. The system releases it, and that is the end of the conversation. The new safe window for domestic United flights is 90 minutes before departure. International, give yourself a minimum of 2.5 hours. If you have been relying on old timing habits, cutting it close because it always worked before, add 30 minutes to whatever felt safe last year. That buffer is now the difference between your confirmed seat and a standby list on a full flight. This is the one I mentioned in the intro, and it is the one that frustrates people the most once they find out it exists. Under the Air Carrier Access Act, passengers who need additional time or assistance boarding have a legal right to pre-boarding accommodation. That right has not changed. What changed in 2026 is how strictly airlines are enforcing the requirement that you request it in advance. Last year, walking up to the gate agent and asking worked. This year, gate agents have significantly less discretion, and what worked reliably before often does not work anymore. The process now requires you to contact the airline before you reach the gate. At booking, at online check-in, or by calling the airline directly. When you call, use this exact phrase, "I am requesting a pre-boarding accommodation under the Air Carrier Access Act." That phrase triggers a formal process the agent is legally required to follow. It is not a workaround. It is written federal law, but you have to know the phrase exists before you can use it. Now, you do. This one changes how you look at every boarding gate interaction going forward. In early 2026, Frontier Airlines confirmed that gate agents receive a $10 commission for every carry-on bag they send to baggage claim from the gate. $10 per bag, per passenger. Their official explanation was that it incentivizes consistent enforcement of size requirements. What it actually creates is a financial motivation for agents to find something wrong with your bag. A wheel that barely catches the edge of the sizer. A side pocket that bulges slightly. A handle that does not fully retract. Every one of those is a judgment call. And that agent now has a $10 reason to make that call against you. There is a two-part strategy that frequent flyers use to protect themselves here. First, measure your bag at home, fully packed with handles extended and all pockets out, not by eye, with an actual tape measure. Second, arrive at the gate right as boarding begins. Agents spend the pre-boarding window actively scanning the gate area for oversized bags. By the time boarding starts, they are focused on processing passengers quickly, not on pulling bags for the sizer. Both of those things together drop your exposure significantly. Last one, and this one works entirely in your favor. Most passengers on basic economy fares assume there are no exceptions to carry-on fees. There are. Several major carriers maintain internal fee waiver programs for passengers who qualify, including travelers with specific loyalty status and those with documented medical accommodation needs. These programs are not listed on any booking page. You will not find them in the app. There is no banner during checkout that says, "You might qualify for a waiver." The only way to access them is to call the airline directly, not the chat function, not the app, the actual phone line, and ask specifically. The phrase that opens the process is this: "I would like to request a carry-on fee waiver. Can you tell me what documentation I need to qualify?" Delta and United both have accessible waiver processes right now. Most travelers have never asked the question, which means most travelers have been paying carry-on fees that they never had to pay. Let's start with something that sounds familiar, but has a twist most people are completely missing. The size limit itself has not changed. American, Delta, United, JetBlue, Alaska. They all still list the same standard: 22 inches long, 14 wide, 9 deep. That number has been around for years. You probably know it by heart. But here is what changed: how strictly they are actually enforcing it. In 2026, airlines moved from the honor system to active measurement at the gate. That metal sizer frame you have walked past 100 times without a second glance? Gate agents are using it now. Actually using it. And here is the part that catches people off guard. Those dimensions include everything. Wheels, handles, every pocket that sticks out on the outside of the bag. The interior capacity of your bag is completely irrelevant. Total exterior dimensions, fully packed, fully extended, that is what gets measured. A bag that looks carry-on sized can fail the moment you account for a handle that does not fully retract or a side pocket that bulges. Before your next trip, measure your bag at home. Fully packed, handle extended, all pockets out. If it is close to the limit, assume it is already over. Okay, picture this. You found a great deal on a basic economy ticket. You saved $40 on the base fare. You are feeling smart. You pack your carry-on, head to the gate, and then a gate agent stops you. Your carry-on is not included on that ticket. On basic economy fares, sold by American, Delta, United, and others, overhead bin access only comes with an upgraded seat or a carry-on fee paid at the time of booking. Otherwise, you are personal item only. One bag, under the seat. Airlines added this quietly. The fine print says personal item only, but the booking screen does not exactly scream it at you in large bold letters. So you find out at the gate, standing at the jetway, with no cheaper options left. American charges around $40 to gate check on the spot. United is similar. And because you are already at boarding, you have lost access to the lower advance rate you could have paid online days ago. Every time you book a flight, check your fare class before you close that tab. If it says basic economy or light fare, go back and read the baggage terms fully. A $40 carry-on fee on a $79 ticket is not a deal anymore. It is an expensive lesson. This one is going to make a lot of people look at their luggage very differently. You bought a carry-on with an expansion zipper. More packing space. Smart, right? Most carry-on bags with expansion zippers sit right at the size limit in their standard configuration. The moment you zip that expansion open, even just partially, your bag gains 1 to 2 inches of depth. That is the exact difference between boarding your flight and paying a gate check fee you did not budget for. Here is the part that makes this worse. Gate agents have been trained to spot this visually. An overstuffed bag that bulges beyond its frame gets flagged immediately. Even before the sizer comes out, the visual alone is enough to get your bag pulled. And once they pull it, the outcome is already decided. That extra pair of shoes you tucked into the expanded section, they just cost you $40 to $75 at the gate. Travel with your expansion zipper closed. If you genuinely need more space, add a checked bag online at the advance rate when you book. It is almost always cheaper than what you will pay standing at the gate. This is where it gets painful. You booked with Frontier, or Spirit, or Allegiant. Cheapest flight available. You are practically flying for free. You show up with your carry-on and the fee hits you like a wall. On budget carriers, carry-on bags have never been free. But in 2026, the fee ladder got steeper, and the gap between booking online and paying at the gate is bigger than most people realize. Book the carry-on online at the time of booking, around $30 to $50. Wait until the check-in counter, $50 to $75. Show up at the gate without paying, $75 to $100 per bag, per direction. Most passengers step on every rung of that ladder because they either did not read the fine print at booking or assumed they would sort it out later. Run the numbers. 2 passengers, 2 carry-ons, gate fees, round trip. You are looking at potentially $400 in bag fees on a flight you thought cost $100. When you book with a budget carrier, treat the carry-on fee as part of the base price and add it at checkout. It is always the cheapest moment to do it. Think you are safe because you only brought a personal item? This one is for you. The rule itself has not changed. Your personal item still needs to fit under the seat in front of you. But enforcement this summer is noticeably more aggressive, especially on full flights. A personal item should measure around 17 by 10 by 9 inches. The key word in that definition is under the seat, not in the overhead bin. If your personal item goes overhead, gate agents are now treating it as a carry-on. On a basic economy ticket, that triggers the gate check fee on the spot. An overstuffed backpack that is rigid, bulging, and clearly cannot compress under a seat gets pulled. The fee follows. Keep your personal item genuinely personal item sized. If your backpack is fully packed and stiff as a board, it stopped being a personal item the moment you overfilled it. You just have not been caught yet. This summer, the odds of being caught went up considerably. Here is a misconception I hear constantly. They will just gate check it for free. Most airlines charge for gate-checked bags. American and United charge around $40. Budget carriers charge $75 to $100. Gate checking became normalized during years when agents were practically begging passengers to volunteer their bags for overhead space. That voluntary process was free. The involuntary process, when your bag does not comply with the rules and gets pulled, is absolutely not. Know your airline's gate check fee before you leave home. If your bag is borderline on size, check it online at the advance rate during booking. It is almost always $30 to $50 cheaper than what you will pay standing at the jetway with 200 people in line behind you. Now, here is the part. Airlines definitely do not advertise, and it is actually working in your favor. Certain items do not count against your baggage allowance at all. Coats and jackets, umbrellas, duty-free purchases made after you clear security, assistive devices, food purchased inside the airport. Airlines are required to allow these items regardless of your fare class. You can board holding a duty-free bag, wearing your heaviest jacket, carrying an umbrella, and none of it touches your carry-on or personal item allowance. Smart travelers use this strategically, especially on budget carriers, where every cubic inch of bag space is costing money. These are not loopholes. They are written rules that work in your favor. Wear your heaviest layer on travel days. Buy that bottle of wine after security and carry it separately. Pack your bulkiest shoes in a jacket pocket if you need to. Know what the rules actually say, not just what the airline wants you to assume.
This is probably the most repeated travel tip on the internet. Everyone says it, everyone does it, and it's not actually what TSA requires. TSA requires a quart-sized, clear, resealable bag. A standard Ziploc sandwich bag is often too big or too floppy, and an overstuffed one is actually one of the top reasons bags get pulled for additional screening. Plus, here's the part that changes everything. Airports that have the newer CT scanners don't even require you to remove your liquids bag from your carry-on at all. The bag just goes straight through. To check if your airport has CT scanners, look it up on the TSA website before you travel. If they do, leave the liquids in your bag entirely. PreCheck is one of the best things you can do as a frequent traveler, but it is not a guaranteed pass-through security. PreCheck passengers are still selected for random additional screening, and in 2026, with new agents filling in at checkpoints across the country, random selection rates have reportedly gone up. PreCheck also does not get you out of the Real ID requirement. You still need a Real ID compliant license or a valid passport. PreCheck reduces friction. It does not eliminate it. You can still be stopped because you can. This one is so automatic that people do it without even thinking. They walk up to the bin, sit down, and start untying. But if you have TSA PreCheck, you do not need to remove your shoes in most cases. And if you are 75 or older, you are also exempt from shoe removal, even in standard screening. Some airports with newer imaging technology don't require it at all anymore. Taking off your shoes when you don't need to actually slows the line down, and in the wrong lane, it can flag you for unusual behavior. Check your screening type before you start unlacing. I still hear this one constantly, and I want to put it to rest for good. TSA allows almost all solid food through the security checkpoint. Sandwiches, fruit, snacks, even a full rotisserie chicken, totally allowed. The confusion comes from spreadable foods, which TSA treats as liquids. Hummus, peanut butter, yogurt, jam. Those follow the 3-1-1 rule. But solid food? Bring it. Pack your own lunch. Skip the $18 airport sandwich. You are allowed to do this, and your wallet will thank you. Okay, I promised you number 5, early on, and here it is. This is the myth I see even experienced travelers get completely wrong. I cannot tell you how much unnecessary stress this one causes. Travelers panic, repack everything, and sometimes throw out pill organizers they've used for years, all because of a rule that does not exist. TSA does not require your medications to be in their original pharmacy containers for domestic flights. You can use a pill organizer, a daily sorter, whatever system works for you. TSA is screening for security threats, not checking your pharmaceutical packaging. Now here's an important distinction. For international travel, original packaging can matter at customs in certain countries, but that is a customs issue, not a TSA issue. For flying within the US, pack your medications, however, is most convenient for you. Nope, empty water bottles have always been allowed through TSA security. What gets confiscated is a bottle with liquid inside it. Bring an empty reusable bottle, carry it through the checkpoint, and fill it at a water fountain on the other side. You will save around $6 every single flight, and you will stay more hydrated than you would sipping from a tiny plastic cup. This is one of my absolute favorite airport habits. Most domestic U.S. airlines do not weigh carry-on bags. The weight limits exist on paper, but enforcement at the gate is rare. What actually gets you is the size. If your bag doesn't fit in the overhead bin or the gate sizer, that's where the real problem starts, especially now, with the carry-on crackdown happening at major airlines. Focus on dimensions, not weight. If it fits, it flies. Budget carriers and international airlines are a different story. They do enforce weight limits, but usually at check-in, not the gate. This one has cost people a lot of money. If you buy a bottle of wine or spirits at a duty-free shop and then have a connecting flight where you go through security again, your duty-free purchase will be confiscated if it exceeds 3.4 ounces, even if it is still in the sealed duty-free bag. The sealed bag exemption only applies on international arrivals with no connection, so only buy duty-free on your last flight of the trip. Otherwise, that expensive bottle is going in the bin, and there is no getting it back. This one is important to get right because the agencies involved are different. TSA itself screens your device as a physical object. They may ask you to power it on to confirm it works, but that is a security check, not a data search. TSA does not have the authority to look through your phone contents. However, CBP, Customs, and Border Protection absolutely can search your device at international entry points, and they do not need a warrant. In 2026, the lines between agencies at some checkpoints are blurring, so knowing who you are dealing with matters. It sounds straightforward. 3.4 ounces, one clear quart bag, one bag per person. But right now, enforcement genuinely varies airport to airport and even checkpoint to checkpoint. Some airports with CT scanners are skipping the rule entirely. Others are still enforcing it strictly. Some agents pull the bag, others wave it through. The safest approach in 2026 is to assume the rule applies unless you can visually confirm CT scanners at your specific checkpoint. When in doubt, keep your liquids separate. Do not assume the experience you had last time will be the same experience you have next time, because right now, it might not be.
Mistake number 1, rushing to board. You think Group 1 wins the bin space war, but have you heard the new sound of American airports? American and United have installed sensors that scream at you if you scan before your group is called. But here's the real secret. As soon as your ticket scans, the airline stops their delay clock. They trap you in the jet bridge, a freezing, unventilated tunnel, for 20 minutes just to pad their on-time stats. Sit down, let the lice fight. Board last. The plane literally cannot leave without you once you check in. If they delay you for 4 hours, they will hand you a $15 digital food voucher. Do not click accept yet. In 2026, airlines are sneaking a settlement clause into the terms and conditions of that $15 sandwich. By accepting the voucher, you might be digitally signing away your right to the $650 cash compensation under EU Regulation 261 or the new US DOT refund rules. Ask the agent directly, does this voucher waive my right to statutory cash compensation? Watch them freeze. You walk up to the gate. The camera stares at you. The agent says, just look here. It feels mandatory. It is not. As of spring 2026, TSA expanded touchless ID to 65 airports, but they forgot to tell you that 99% of people can still opt out. You have the legal right to say, I am opting out, and use your physical ID. The fix: don't build their database for free. Keep your biometric data off the server. Opt out. You ask for a fragile sticker to keep your bag safe. Baggage handlers have admitted to me this sticker is a target. In the pit, a fragile bag breaks the flow. It requires special stacking. When a handler is rushing 50 bags a minute, your high-maintenance sticker often gets your bag buried at the bottom of the stack out of spite. Don't use a sticker. Use a polycarbonate hard shell that can take the hit. This is the specific 2026 trap. London Heathrow dropped the 100 ml liquid rule. You buy a giant bottle of whiskey there, then you connect in Rome. Guess what? Rome didn't drop the rule. Security confiscates your $200 bottle because the new scanners aren't universal yet. The liquid freedom is a lie. Do not buy duty-free liquids until your final leg. You see a USB port on the seatback screen. You plug in. You just made a mistake. USB ports transfer data and power. We are seeing juice jacking attacks where the seatback entertainment system itself, or a modified kiosk, siphons data from your phone the moment it handshakes. Use the power brick and the wall outlet. It creates a physical firewall between you and the plane.